Canmore itself certainly was not a well-off community. I mean, it was a mining community, and in comparison to Banff, which was like kind of the jewel in the crown and, where everybody wanted to go and to see, Canmore was kind of considered to be, a kind of, old historic mining town, but, with none of the sort of flashy goods that Banff has. The other thing as well, too, is that there was a totally different kind of social makeup between the two towns. I mean, Canmore attracted a lot of wealthy people, people of means. And, was I talking Canmore? No, Banff. Yeah. Banff attracted a lot of wealthy people, people of means, artists who could come from various parts of the continent and spend their summers and work at the school or just paint. And it was primarily a kind of Anglo-Saxon community. Canmore was not. I mean, there were certainly people of that heritage in Canmore, but it was a very, very different mix of people. It actually reminds me a lot more it reminded me of Edmonton that way. It had that kind of cultural mix from Eastern Europe and so on. So Banff could afford to have some museums because there were people there who had the means to support museums. A place like Canmore is, even if you look at the Glenbow Museum, what started the Glenbow Museum? Well, it was the huge amount of money that, a lawyer who struck it rich during the oil rush out of Leduc in the 40s, Eric Cameron, he poured massive amounts of money into getting that museum going and into making what it is today. So Canmore didn't have those kinds of people at all. So it's always interested me how communities without those means will get that together, and how do they sustain it? And the sustainability question is a much more serious one for museums of that heritage. And I think Canmore has been fortunate in the sense that it's had small groups of individuals who have supported what the museum is about. And they've all had different interests. I've gone through the files of various projects that have taken place over the years. At one point, there was a woman who was looking into the history of the old cemetery, which is quite remarkable here in Canmore, and really should be a historic site and have its fencing restored and all of that kind of thing. But, so there was someone who was fascinated with that.